I think I did a video on this like a year ago, the last time that I ended up getting busy and this happened and I dropped down in arena tiers, but it's gotten even worse and even more crazy. So since the beginning of Raid, like years ago, I kind of got into Gold 4, then they released Gold 5, and that's where I've been in the classic arena, always just kind of farming with my normal farming team that I can just kind of lazily go through Gold 4, Gold 5, and farm up my Magisteel and my Great Hall, because I maxed out my Great Hall like 3 years ago, so I mainly just do arena to stay in the proper tier to get the stat bonuses, like the 22% to each of your stats, HP, attack, and defense. But I also have to continue to farm the arena even though my Great Hall is maxed, because I want the Magisteel to be able to craft gear and get a bunch of CVC points during CVC being live and all that via the Forge. And I remember back the last time I talked about this topic, I was like, are you kidding me? The teams down in bronze and silver are harder than Gold 4 and Gold 5. And back then they were like 250k maybe. Now the teams, I mean, look at this, 500,000 team down here in silver and 430,000. I mean, it's a whole page of nothing but Siphi and Duchess and Nekarit and a bunch of craziness, Kymar and UDKs everywhere on people's defenses. Obviously, Mithrawa, Tormund, +4 champions, a +4 Kymar right here. I mean, basically all of these teams are better than the normal arena team that I farm with, as someone who's played for 5 years at this point, and they're down in like the bronze and silver tiers. So I wonder if this is a byproduct of like my account and its account power or something, because I'm up at like 21 million or something. Yeah, 21.3 million. I can't read it because of the pop-ups. 21.3 million. I wonder if they have some sort of an algorithm based off of if you're level 100 on your account or a certain account power, if you get different teams in the arena. I don't know. I haven't been in like the bronze and silver tiers for years at this point, or very randomly kind of for like a week or so every now and then if I get busy and I drop down a few tiers. So you'd have to let me know, is this like standard? Do all of you see team full page? Because like usually you'll see something like this happen and it's like, this is just one of those tough refresh pages. But sometimes I click refresh like I did just now and it's the exact same thing. It's like another foot, because like sometimes you'll get a tough refresh page and then you'll click a refresh again and you'll get like a full page of one person defenses and it completely flip-flops and it kind of alternates from like tough or easy. But what I've noticed is down in silver, it's like this just straight across the board, and it's harder than it is in the upper tiers of gold. And I do still definitely get some that I can farm, like this one right here, 178k. I know it's going to be an easy win because my team is like 340 or whatever. So as long as they're under 300, it's usually a pretty easy win, because I have one of those kind of hybrid teams where I have defense, tanky, double revive, but then I also have an attack-based nuker that can come in with Sun Wukong and blast down the team, kind of like you see right there. But normally I can farm it up, but it got me to thinking, like, what is the arena experience like for someone who has been playing Raid for a few months and they're trying to progress through like bronze and silver? Maybe they've been playing for a year or two and they're just kind of slowly on their free-to-play grind and they're trying to get up into higher tiers because you need to for your progress missions. They very controversially, that a lot of players don't like, they tie some of those progress missions to PvP, so you kind of have to go through and do those if you want to complete the full PvE journey in the game. You do have to rank up in the arena. And you can see right now I'm at 1800. I bet when I get up to 2k and I switch from silver 4 into gold 1, I bet the teams will actually get a lot easier, because I think what ends up happening is in silver 4, everyone's kind of savagely trying to move up into gold. But then once you get into gold and you move into like gold 4 and gold 5, now you see people that are just wanting to farm the arena and they start setting those one-person defenses and they just kind of want to maintain where they're at and keep those stat bonuses, and they're not really trying to rank up. They're just maintaining, so the defenses end up getting a lot easier in that situation up in those tiers. But yeah, I definitely did not expect to be scrolling through silver leagues and seeing a bunch of +4 champions and Siphis and Nekarits and all of that. I mean, look at this team down here, 400k, +4 Kymar, +2 Siphi, +2 Mithrawa, +3 Tormund. They've got, what is that, 7 + 4, 11 empowerment levels on their arena defense team in silver. And I bet what ends up happening, if I had to guess, was some of these people end up like me, where they get busy for a few weeks. They're not able to play as much. Like for me, I was traveling, had 2 different trips to Blizzard and to TwitchCon and all that, so fell down a few tiers, and now I'm one of those players that was always in Gold 5, and now I'm down in the Silver Leagues. So it's probably a bunch of people that ended up getting busy, they deranked a little bit, or it's inactive accounts that got really high rank, they played for a few years, they quit the game, and now their arena defenses and their arena rank is no longer being active, so they keep kind of slowly dropping down to lower and lower tiers. And I thought Plarium did something a while back to address this, but it's gotten even worse since before they addressed it, at least from my experience trying to rank up through the tiers again. I kind of ranked down all the way into like Silver 1 or Bronze 4 or something, and I've been battling my way back the last few days just kind of passively, and then I noticed, like, wait a minute, this is completely crazy. Because I thought I was just going to be able to walk through, breeze through, and just win 100 matches in a row and rank back into Gold 5, and everything would be hunky-dory, but that is not the case because the defenses down here are crazy, and I actually have to kind of min-max and play really careful and do my refreshes and play a lot different even than I did up in Gold 5. And I can only imagine how difficult that is for players that are legitimately in the silver tier of Arena and have never made it to Gold 5 when they log in and they see this for what they have to go up against trying to battle in the arena. And now I get some of the frustrations that I see in the comment section and some different polling that I do on the community tab and all of that. So I think a way that Plarium could probably address this is to be a little bit more aggressive about removing some of the inactive accounts and pulling them out of the defense queue pool. That way you know you're going up against active players that are currently playing in the arena, and try to keep some of those 400, 500k teams out of those lower leagues. Or even maybe they could do something like once you rank into a new tier by at least the second tier, like let's say you get into Gold 2, you can never go back into Silver. Like the lowest you'll drop, even if you go inactive and all of that, is once you make it to the second league of a new tier, you can never drop down to the previous tier from being inactive. Maybe something like that, but I guess that would have disadvantages too, because maybe the meta shifts, or maybe someone has a team that was legitimately good enough to get into Gold 2, and then maybe they go inactive and different champions get buffed or nerfed, or the way they wanted to play maybe changes, like they had an Arena Nuke team, and then they do something like they did back in the day with the Tormund Fusion, and now all of a sudden they can't maintain that Gold 2. So there really wouldn't be a perfect answer, but I would like to see some sort of a shift to the system, because it's going to get a little bit brutal for the players that are down here in Bronze and Silver. And I'd be interested to hear from you out there. Is this your experience as well, or is this just a byproduct of my account based on the account power or the account level being level 100? Because what I'm seeing here is I only go up against people that are basically level 100. If I do another refresh here, yeah, 99, 100, I mean, all these people are level 100. I'm not getting queued up against people in Silver that are like account level 68 or something. It's all maxed out accounts. So I wonder if they have that next tier of matchmaking where you go up against people that are a little bit closer to your account level and your account power, regardless of the current arena tier, if that's kind of baked into like the matchmaking algorithm. I do want to do some sort of, we're talking about some different competitions and stuff to do for fun in the raid community as we move in to 2024, spice things up a little bit. Some of those like free-to-play competitions where you get a bunch of content creators and a bunch of people from the community to get a fresh start and play the game and compete against each other and have leaderboards. Sometimes that's a lot of fun, and then it's good to get that perspective again, because you end up like me when you've been playing for so long since the beginning that you kind of forget what the journey is like in some of those different areas of the game compared back to when you did it. Because for me, back in my day, sounded like an old man here in Raid, but back in my day, when I was ranking up in Silver, I would be going up against like Spirit Host and War Maiden and Kale. Like that would be like the standard team in Silver that I was having to face. I was not having to face +4 Siphi, Kymar, and all these crazy Duchess, Siphi, Double Revive, Marichka, Taras teams when I was battling through in Silver my original time ranking up. But also this week, Raid is going to be doing an event they have never done before. They're going to be boosting up the chances of these primal shards. So watch out. I've got one primal shard here that we're going to rip during the 2x and see what we can get there. So at least they are open to buffing those shards. They're still way overpriced. So I've never really bought the primal shards because I think they're charging like 6 or 7 a piece, and you can get like rares out of them. I mean, primal shard, yeah, 82% for a rare. They're just not good enough for the price that they command in game. So I guess I'll rip my one primal shard during the 2x once it's launching. It should be launching in a few hours here. I'm recording this on a Sunday night, and then it's going to be live by the time this video kind of goes out, and we're going to rip our primal shard on Monday in honor of the 2x event. But yeah, anyway, let me know your experience in the classic arena. Is it like that for all of you down in bronze and silver? Are you getting the 400 and 500k arena teams? Just kind of something I noticed here when I was getting back to grinding on my account and getting everything back in order again. But I appreciate all of you, and remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy daily Raid Shadow Legends content. I will see you soon in the next video. Thanks. Peace.